This is Bradley Braves basketball. Tonight, the Braves meet Tulane University in the quarterfinals of the National Invitational Tournament. Now, from the Robertson Memorial Field House, here are the Bradley Braves.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Robertson Memorial Field House in Peoria, Illinois. Quarterfinal round action of the NIT tournament tonight between the Green Wave of Tulane and the Bradley Braves. Buddy DiLiberto from Channel 6 Sports in New Orleans is alongside it. Buddy, it's a real contrast. Bradley in their 14th NIT tournament, Tulane in their first postseason tournament.
Tulane's been a team all year. They can't run, they can't hit, they can't field. All they do is beat you. They've hung close to most of the games. They've only been blown out one time all season against Indiana. I know this sounds like one of the toughest home courts in America. I've never quite been in a place that the people sit right up on a court like that, and it takes a while. Tulane's played in two tough home courts in the last 6 nights, LSU and Las Vegas. Won them both, and I know this will probably be the biggest challenge. I'm looking for a very close, competitive ballgame.
As a matter of fact, Tulane has not been home for almost a week.
I think it's going to show a little bit, too, but that's the way the pairings came, so they're going to play it the way it lays.
Bradley, of course, coming into the ball game, playing their 500th game here at Robertson Memorial Field House. They will have Willie Scott, the fine playmaking guard, and you and I had talked before about the quickness of the two ball clubs, and when Willie Scott plays for Bradley, I don't think there's going to be anybody any quicker on the floor for either ball clubs. So it should be a fine ball game tonight.
Bradley, as you told me, this is their 500th game. They've won 399 games in this gym and lost only 100, so that tells you something.
We'll be back and have our starting lineups from Robertson Memorial Field House right after you watch this.
Now that's what bread used to taste like.
Now that's what bread used to taste like.
What bread used to taste like is the sweeter, richer flavor of new Sunbeam Old Fashioned.
Now that's what bread used to taste like.
Sunbeam Old Fashioned is the brand new bread from Sunbeam that tastes homemade. Look for new Sunbeam Old Fashioned today.
Now that's what bread used to taste like.
The American harvest. The labor of farming ends. The challenge of feeding the world begins. Tabor Grain Company accepts that challenge. Through an international communications and transportation network, Tabor Grain carries America's abundance to processors throughout the world. Grain consumers are assured of a dependable supply of quality grain, and the American farmer is assured of a dependable supply of consumers. Tabor Grain Company, accepting the challenge.
Nice car, huh? Know what it is? It's the new Buick Skyhawk with front-wheel drive. Check the sticker price. How's that for a pleasant surprise? Imagine buying a Buick with a base sticker price under $7,300 and a $750 rebate, too. The Skyhawk is made here, not in Japan. Go ahead, take a test drive.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
Capture the Skyhawk at Heritage Buick in Peoria, Village Buick in Morton, or Shearer Buick in North Pekin.
Out here, a thunderstorm rolls in fast, sometimes too fast. And when they're taken care of, it's your turn. Push. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Push.
Head for Bush.
Head for the mountains.
Welcome back to Robertson Memorial Field House, campus of Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. Dan Swaney with Buddy DiLiberto from New Orleans, and we have a fine one in this quarterfinal round matchup. The Bradley Braves with a record of 23-10, coached by Dick Versace in his 4th year with a record of 73-46. Winners in the NIT over American University, 76-65, and over Syracuse, 95-81, just earlier this week. Tulane coming in with a record of 19-8. They are coached by Ned Fowler in his 1st year, and what a start for the junior college coach who's moved up to his first major assignment. They finished 2nd in the Metro Conference. They defeated LSU 83-72, the first time in 19 years they had defeated LSU, and then they defeated UNLV 56-51. This should be an outstanding ball game, buddy. as we talked before, Bradley's the kind of team that can do about anything. They can run well, they can stay with you. Tulane on the other team is a definite tight basketball team. They like to keep things under control.
Dan, the first 5 minutes of most every Tulane game is a critical point because Tulane has to set the tempo of the game in order to survive.
Starting lineup for Tulane. At one guard, Daryl Morrow, 6'1", junior from New Orleans. For Bradley, Willie Scott. Scott, 5'11", 150, and a junior from Chicago King, a junior college transfer. Willie has a groin injury that is well enough, has healed enough that he will be able to play tonight. At the other guard for Tulane, Joe Holston. Holston, 6'4", 180, a senior out of Washington, D.C., averaging 6.8 points per ball game. And he'll be going against Barney Mines. Mines, 6'3", 180, and a junior from Joliet and Saddleback Junior College in California. Barney, a fine outside shooter. He had a game-high 23 points this year. At one forward for the Green Wave, they will be going with John Williams, the man in the middle, the big center. What an outstanding freshman. 6'9", 200, a freshman from Sloreno, Louisiana, averaging 15.3 points a ball game, and he'll be matching up against one of Bradley's long-standing senior middlemen, Donald Reese. Reese, 6'9", a senior from Chicago, Illinois, and Donald averages just a shade over 12.5 points per ball game. At the other forward for Tulane will be number 34, Paul Thompson. Thompson, 6'6", 210, a junior from Alexandria, Louisiana, Peabody High School. Outstanding ball player, 14.5 points per ball game. He and John Williams really make a pair in the front line for Ned Fowler's clubs. David Thurkill will be the other forward. They call him the sheriff here in Peoria because of his defensive efforts. Thurkill, 6'7", 200, a senior from St. Louis, Illinois, averaging 13.5 points a ball game. The other forward for Tulane will be number 40, Elton Webster. Webster, a junior college transfer, 6'6", 190, and a junior from Austin, Texas, averaging 5 points per ball game. And for Bradley, their All-American Mitchell J.J. Anderson. Anderson, 6'8", 195, and a senior from Chicago Metro. Bradley will be going with Willie Scott and Barney Mines at the guards. David Thurkill, Mitchell Anderson, and Donald Reese in the front line. Tulane will be going with Daryl Morrill and Joe Holston at the back line. And the front line will be Paul Thompson, Elton Webster, and John Williams. Your officials for tonight's ball game: Bob Burson out of Western Springs, Illinois, Fred Jasper of Waverly, Iowa, and Arthur White from Chicago. They are all Big Ten officials. 7,300 on hand. This will be the final game at Robertson Memorial Field House. And for the people in Louisiana who are not familiar with this place, of the 500 games, this is the 500th game to be played here. 400 of them have been won by Bradley University. And there has been only one losing season since they've come here in the winter of 49 and 50. And Buddy, you were amazed when you first came in here and heard the crowd. The noise is immense down here on the floor.
They seem like they're right up on the court, and I know it's a big home court advantage. Bradley's got all of the prestige and the tradition in basketball. Tulane's like the new kid on the block.
And, of course, Bradley has a lot to still prove to some people after being left out of the NCAA tournament. And they're in the NIT, and both teams, of course, just one stop away from New York and Madison Square Garden. John Williams and David Thurkill jump, and Tulane controls as they move from left to right. Daryl Morrill against Willie Scott as Bradley comes out and matches up in the man-to-man. Bradley will play a lot of man-to-man. They'll also not be afraid to zone you from time to time. Out on the wing far side is Webster, and he's going to be fouled by Donald Reese. And Donald didn't believe it. And that's going to be one of the keys in the ball game, I think. Let's take a look at it again, Buddy.
Yeah, Donald Reese was pushing off on John Williams, giving him the elbow, trying to establish that physical dominance early, but the referee called him for the foul.
Common violation. It'll be out of bounds to the Green Wave under their own basket, and Morrow triggers it in to Webster. The JC transfer that came to Tulane along with Ned Fowler. Out in front, Morrow. Bradley now in that zone. They'll show you about everything on defense. Morrow, Webster. Willie Scott goes out to cover him up. Morrow, top of the key. And Mitchell Anderson, Bradley's leading rebounder, pulls it down to Willie Scott. Willie Scott down the lane. And Bradley leads it 2-0. And Bradley goes to work on defense, full court pressure. Morrow to Williams. Tulane with no trouble. They're not a fast break club, are they, buddy?
No, they'd like to control the tempo, like to take their time and get shots like that one.
Oh, Thompson. Thompson's a 49% field goal shooter, gets his first basket of the night, and we're all tied at 2 apiece. We played about a minute of the first period. Willie Scott against man-to-man pressure. Donald Reese. Back out in front to Barney Mines, returns to Reese. Reese along the baseline, cut off by Williams. He is one of the 2 best freshman player in America. Willie Scott. He's got all 4 of Bradley's first points, and it's 4-2. Bradley leading it by a pair. The Braves, after the inbounds play, settle back on defense and set into the 2-3 zone. Green Wave on the attack. Morrow, alley-oop. David Thirdkill on the deflection. Save back to Thompson, who turned around and got it. Paul Thompson with the return basket, and he's got all 4 points.
In the first 2 NIT games against LSU and Nevada, Las Vegas, Thompson had 19 points each game, which is way above his season average of 14.
Barney Mines, Bradley on the attack. We're tied at 4 apiece. Working the right side of that zone, which is really packed in. Donald Reese won't get the roll on that one, and the rebound pulled out of there by Holston.
Against LSU in Las Vegas, Tulane tried to beat him by shooting from the perimeter. They denied him the inside, so we'll see what develops here tonight.
Morrow, the little playmaking guard from New Orleans, Louisiana. Elton Webster. Mitchell Anderson with the deflection, and it'll be out of bounds to the Green Wave. 4-4 ball game if you just joined us. Bradley and Tulane all tied up. We played about 2.5 minutes of the ball game. Daryl Morrow will trigger the inbounds play. He gets it out in front to Holston. Right back to Morrow. He'll run the offense for Ned Fowler's ball club. Bradley in that 2-3 zone. Holston, Morrow, around the perimeter to Webster. Back on the near side. Bradley really collapsing in. Mitchell Anderson's got John Williams inside the paint. Paul Thompson with his 3rd bucket of the night. He's got all 6 points, and it's 6-4. Tulane back by a pair. Man-to-man defense again by the Green Wave. Donald Reese looks it out in front. Bradley working predominantly right side of the zone. Back off to Donald Reese. David Thirdkill. And to Willie Scott. Thirdkill tried to force feed the pass down low. We have a whistle. We have a foul going to be called on the big kid, John Williams. And I tell you, Bradley coach Dick Versace called John Williams one of the 2 best freshman centers in the country. And he has a lot of respect for the freshman out of Soreto, Louisiana.
Well, that's a strong endorsement, but John Williams is the reason Tulane's here in the NIT. He's been a difference in this basketball team.
Barney Mines from David Thirdkill. Thirdkill from the corner. And Williams pulls down the rebound. Williams, good rebounder, averaging just a shade over 7 boards a ball game, gets his first rebound tonight. And Morrow brings it up court for Tulane. They lead it by a pair. Williams in the paint, walked with the ball.
Good call, took that extra step.
Take a look at it again on the inside of the paint.
We got him late, but he took an extra step, and actually, it might have been a foul later, but he had already called for walking to make it a dead ball. So far, except on Willie Scott's first goal, Tulane's been able to deny Bradley the inside.
Willie Scott again. And again the rebound, and again the foul on Donald Reese. And this was going to be one of the keys of the ball game, buddy, I think. Donald Reese, if he gets into foul trouble, and we'll take a look at just how he picked that one up.
Plenty physical action under the board. Donald Reese was pushing off.
And I tell you, John Williams had a clinic on offense on the boards on that one. Good checking out. Donald Reese just out of position.
Tulane's not a big basketball team. They've only been out-rebounded 6 times all year because they play good position for their rebounds.
Backdoor play. Loose ball, Bradley comes away. Willie Scott 3-on-4 to David Thirdkill. Will not get the roll, and Williams will get the rebound. Bradley coach Dick Versace and his assistant Tony Baroni up along the sidelines, not happy with the way things are going. Bradley out of the gate slowly, man-to-man. There's the back door to Williams.
Oh.
Has it blocked by Donald Reese. Willie Scott goes for the save, and it'll be out of bounds to Bradley.
Excellent defensive play, and that's something that LSU and Nevada hasn't been able to do, to deny Tulane the inside. So far, they've denied him the inside, but fortunately for Tulane, Paul Thompson's hit the 3 outside shot.
We've been on 6-4 for a long time. 15:49 for the first half. Bradley trailing Tulane by a pair.
The tempo is the type of tempo Tulane likes to play. So far, you have to say they're dictating the tempo.
Barney Mines. Barney Mines on the wing on the right side ties the game at 6. Bradley pressure almost forces the turnover. Thompson back out in front to Holston. And Holston will set it up again. Tulane, a very patient basketball team. Take a look at the facts and figures on this team as they played teams this year. Down low, Williams. Double teamed. Missed it, and David Thirdkill with the rebound. On the outlet to Willie Scott, ahead to Mitchell Anderson to Donald Reese. Rebound Barney Mines, and he won't get it. And the rebound to Tulane.
Elton Webster.
Webster, who came as a junior college transfer with Ned Fowler. We're tied at 6. Bradley back in a man-to-man defense. Webster out in front, and a traveling call.
Good call, took an extra step.
Tulane is 19-8. Of those 8 losses, 3 have been by 1 point, 2 have been by 2 points, and 2 of them have been by 5 points. They have been in every game they have played this year, with the exception of an 18-point loss to Indiana. Bradley on the attack. We are tied at 6 apiece. Mitchell Anderson. Tulane in a zone for the first time tonight. Willie Scott. Mitchell Anderson to David Thirdkill. Thirdkill inside the zone. Back to Mitchell Anderson with a jumper. Mitchell Anderson, Bradley's all-time leading scorer, puts the Braves on top at 8-6.
So far, Tulane's had 4 turnovers to Bradley's none. In both NIT games so far, Tulane has almost double the turnovers of the other team, but still has won the basketball game.
Paul Thompson has all 8 of Tulane's points tonight. He's averaging 14.5. We're tied again at 8 apiece.
Yet he's averaged 19 in the 2 NIT games.
So when the money's on the line, Mr. Thompson comes to play. David Thirdkill out in front. Bradley looking over the 2-3 zone. Donald Reese threw his hands into the out-of-bounds Tulane, and we're going to have a timeout. There is a timeout on the floor with 13:50 to go in the first half. And our score is Bradley 8 and Tulane 8. And we will be right back.
They say you can't take it with you, but with Zenith's new lightweight portable video recorder, you can. It's one of 5 new Zenith Beta VCRs, from the popularly priced model to the most deluxe. Some with wireless remote control, even front load, all with speed search, all with Zenith's famous picture quality.
For the best deals on a new Zenith, visit Rick's TV, 315 Court Street in Pekin. Rick's is the largest Zenith dealer within 132 miles of Pekin.
They used to be called mobile homes, but a more accurate term would be manufactured homes. Homes built to look more pleasing and offering more value for your money per square foot. At Oak Lawn Park and Sales, these maintenance-free homes are in a beautiful setting where the taxes are low and there are a large variety of sites for your choosing. And at Oak Lawn, the owners live right in the park, ensuring you of continuing high standards and service whenever needed. So if you're shopping for a house, condo, or apartment, stop in first at Oak Lawn Park and Sales, because you'll find Oak Lawn delightfully different.
Back here at the quarterfinal round game of the National Invitational Tournament, Bradley and Tulane are tied at 8 apiece. Just under 14 minutes to go for the first half. And so far, buddy, Tulane, the whole story has been Paul Thompson. He's got all 8 of the points.
We got a final NIT score now. Georgia has eliminated Virginia Tech, a Metro Conference school like Tulane, 90-73. The game was played in Athens tonight. Georgia by 17. Dominique Wilkins must have had a big night.
Oh, he's a fine ball player. Tulane will have the ball out of bounds in their defensive zone, and they'll bring it up. Bradley putting on some token defense. David Thirdkill in the backcourt with Joe Holston. No substitutions made at the timeout. Ahead on the lead pass, a deflection and a steal. David Thirdkill shakes and bakes and missed the layup, and a rebound to Tulane.
That's 5 turnovers to none. 5 Tulane turnovers, none for Bradley. In each of the LSU and Las Vegas, Nevada games, Tulane has double the other teams in turnovers, but it hasn't cost them.
John Williams, 6'9" freshman, gets his first basket of the night, and Tulane's back on top at 10-8. And I think so far Tulane is playing their tempo basketball game.
They have, Dan, and that's what they need to stay close and make it a very close basketball game.
Willie Scott, Mitchell Anderson. Willie Scott from the top of the key, won't get the bounce on that one, and we have a foul in the middle of the paint. And let's see who it was on. It was a funny whistle. The official down below got it on David Thirdkill. And on Thirdkill, that is his first personal foul. 13th foul against Bradley. Let's take a look and see just exactly how it happened again.
looked like he got him going over his back. Willie Scott took that shot from about 25 feet. Ned Fowler likes to see the opposition do that.
Willie's a good outside shooter, though. He has a tendency to be a zone buster. Bradley in a man-to-man, very loosely organized man-to-man. Holston. And they sag inside. Look at him double-team Thompson. David Thirdkill and him. That'll be a great matchup. Thirdkill called one of the 3 best defensive players in America. To the baseline. Webster and a foul. Going to be a holdout foul against on Mitchell Anderson. And on Anderson, that is his first 4th-team foul against Bradley.
All right. Well, I tell you, I couldn't tell if he got his hand there. From the replay, it looked like he might have missed his hand. But anyway, the official's standing right on top of it, and he said he got his hand.
May have got him with a little body on the way, a little hand check on the way up. At the free throw line, Elton Webster, a 79% free throw shooter on the year, and he makes the first one. And that makes it 11-8 now. Tulane by a 3, about the 12.5-minute mark in the first half. Second toss for Elton Webster on the way. He didn't hurt his percentage at all there. 12-8, biggest lead of the ball game. Tulane by 4. And they've gone back into a zone defense, 2-3. Mitchell Anderson, Bradley's inside game has been non-existent tonight.
Well, that's what Tulane's been able to do, deny the other teams the inside. Let them shoot those perimeter shots.
Barney Mines is long with that jumper, and we have a foul away from play. And the foul is going to be called on Paul Thompson. And that is his first personal foul. Thompson, the 6'6 junior from Alexandria, Louisiana.
Tulane's only had 4 players foul out all season. However, in the last 3 games, they've had a player foul out each game.
And that's quite a figure when you consider they've only had 4 players the entire season. I think they only had 1 player in a regular season foul out of a ball game.
And then 1 in the Metro Tournament and 2 in the NIT.
That is a phenomenal stat. Barney Mines. Down low to Mitchell Anderson. Bradley can't buy a basket. And the rebound to Tulane. They're doing a great job on the defensive boards. Bradley meets him with man-to-man pressure out in front. Bump and run. Daryl Morrill against Willie Scott. 11:53 for the first half. 12-8 ball game. Tulane by 4. Elton Webster against Mitchell Anderson on the man-to-man. Webster. And they're going to get him for the offensive foul. No, they get Mitchell Anderson for it. Boise Winters coming into the ball game for Bradley. Take a look at it again. Here it is.
It looked like they're both pushing off. Both of them using their hands on the play, but he called it on the Bradley player.
And Mitchell got caught in the pick, tried to go his way through a pick, and he got called for the personal foul, his second. And Bradley's beginning to get in a little bit of a foul trouble situation here at home. Bradley has not scored for a while either. They're back into a 2-3 zone on the wing on the near side around the perimeter. Elton Webster. Too long, and Mitchell Anderson fights for the rebound and kicks it out to Willie Scott and Bradley on the race.
That wasn't a facing shot.
Boise Winters with his first basket of the night, and that's the kind of ball player he is. 12-10, and Bradley now into press in the backcourt with a steal. Willie Scott to David Thirdkill. Missed it, and he's fouled. And the foul's going to be called on John Holston, and that's the first on Holston. Take a look at it again, buddy.
Okay, under the goal. There's Holston. Well, replay didn't show you, but he called Holston for going over his back.
Common violation again. 3rd team foul against Tulane in the first half, and the inbounds play to Bradley. A basket would tie everything up again. Willie Scott to Mitchell Anderson, to Willie Scott, Boise Winters. Boise was the nation's leading scorer last year as a high school senior. Mitchell Anderson misses the layup try, and Tulane again with the rebound. I'd be curious to find out how many return shots Bradley has had on the inside on their offensive board. Not too many tonight. Not too many tonight. Willie Scott deflects. Donald Reese with a steal. Bradley coming up 3-on-3. And they put on the brakes. Mitchell Anderson to Willie Scott. Donald Reese. Donald Reese with the basket. We are tied at 12 with 10:20 to go in the ball game's first half. And all of a sudden the crowd's gotten into this ball game. Elton Webster
An amazing statistic, 7 Tulane turnovers to none for Bradley, and yet the score's tied. Ordinarily, you ought to be starting to get blown out when you make 7 turnovers to the other team's none.
Especially in the first 10 minutes of the ball game. Tulane now going to spread it out a little bit. Bradley settling back in that 2-3 zone. And I tell you, when Bradley's got some people who are looking at foul trouble, this could go both ways as far as helping a team. Elton Webster, baseline. And the rebound to the freshman, Boise Winters. To Willie Scott. Mitchell Anderson into the attacking zone, back to Scott. And Bradley waits. 12-12 ball game, Donald Reese. And Bradley leads for the first time in a long time as Donald Reese gets his 4th point. And Bradley leads it at 14-12. Holston to Morrow in the backcourt against David Thurkill. Into the attacking zone to Webster, back out in front. And Tulane goes to work. The Green Wave trailing by a pair. 9-10 to go in the first half. The crowd yelling defense. Morrow, top of the key. And they have gone to work on the freshman, John Williams, on the inside. His game has disappeared. Morrow got it. Daryl Morrow, a 50% field goal shooter, gets his first basket of the night. And we're tied again at 14 apiece.
So far, Bradley's been a much more patient team than LSU and Nevada, Las Vegas were against Tulane.
Donald Reese loses Williams and gets the stuff. Donald Reese with 6 points in the first half, and Bradley leads it again by a pair. And a steal. Boise Winters to Thurkill, and Thurkill is fouled. And now Bradley's defense beginning to bother Tulane, and I think Tulane may want a timeout. I guess Tulane is not going to take a timeout. Take a look at the foul again. Williams picked it up. That is his second.
Williams hooked him on the arm. That's Hot Rod's second foul.
That is his second personal foul, and David Thurkill will go to the free throw line. Thurkill on the year, a 70% free throw shooter, the 6'7" senior from St. Louis. Tell you, the people in the NBA say this guy is a sure bet first-round draft choice this year. He got the first one. In fact, the Detroit Pistons, who have a couple of scouts here tonight, have said if Thurkill is available, when their pick comes, he will be their first-round draft choice this year. That's how highly thought of David Thurkill is in the NBA circles.
You said they regard him as the two or three best defensive player in college basketball.
That's right. Not a bad offensive player either. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor with 8:26 to go in the first half of this quarterfinal NIT game. And our score, Bradley 18, Tulane 14.
You know, there are still a few people around who think that waterbeds won't cut it. Well, Waterbed Creations, we can cut it. This is just a little demonstration to show that even major accidents can be no problem with a properly installed safety liner. The water is retained within the frame so there can be no chance of damage to your carpet or home. So for answers to all your questions on waterbeds, stop by a Waterbed Creations near you, where the rest is better and we're better than the rest.
Come see and test drive America's best-selling import, Toyota, at Peoria Toyota Volvo. Choose an 82 Toyota Corolla that proves an economy car doesn't have to look like one. Test drive the all-new Celica Supra, quality through and through. Or the popular Cressida with European touring car luxury. And remember that whatever Toyota you choose, you're choosing economy because Toyota really delivers good gas mileage. Buy now at Peoria Toyota Volvo, top of the hill on Knoxville in Peoria.
Back here at Robertson Memorial Field House. Here's a play just a few minutes ago, buddy. Donald Reese getting the inside slam.
Dan, in the last 5 minutes, Bradley has outscored Tulane 10-2. Here we are. We've played 11 and a half minutes, and the biggest lead by either team has been 4 points. So far it's developing in just the type of game it appeared to develop into, or should develop into, before the start.
And you and I talked about that before the game started. Tulane really never let its team get away from them. They play everybody close all the way down. Their style of play dictates the fact that it's going to be a close basketball game.
A few times, like in the Nevada-Las Vegas game, they fell behind 10 points, but they kept their poise, and they're good at keeping poise so far this year.
Tulane on the attack, trailing by 4. 8:20 to go in the first half. Holston double teamed at the trap. And another steal. Willie Scott to Mitchell Anderson. Had to go around an official to save the basketball. And it's going to be out of bounds to Tulane. Out of bounds, Green Wave. They control. Is that the 8th turnover for Tulane?
9 turnovers to none. 9 Tulane turnovers to none. And Ned Fowler was up just now. He wasn't happy with Joe Holston the way he handled the ball just now. Bradley's pressure has really forced Tulane. 9 turnovers to none. That's a big, big statistic.
Darryl Morrill in the backcourt. Boise Winters goes out to get him. Over to Holston. There's the trap. To Williams. Williams takes it down and lost the handle. Bradley coming up again. Donald Reese at the other end with the basket. And a foul and a chance for the three-point play. And the foul is on Williams, and that is John's 3rd personal foul. And this is what you can't allow happen. Here it is again. Must have got him outside the replay shot, buddy, but this is what you can't let Bradley do if you expect to stay in the ball game. They get on these rolls, and they're on one right now, and you got to figure out a way to take away their ball game.
So far, Tulane has played very poorly as far as protecting the basketball. 11 turnovers from in the game, and we still got 8 minutes to play in the first half.
Donald Reese is a 60% free throw shooter, missed that one. And the rebound is pulled down by Tulane, and the Green Wave come up on the attack.
The next couple of trips down the court for Tulane, very critical again. They can't let anybody get too far out in front, especially a team as patient as Bradley's been.
Curtis Wallace checked in during the free throw for Tulane, and John Williams is out of the ball game. In the middle, Webster. A battle, and Anderson comes out with a rebound for Bradley. Kicks it out to Willie Scott.
Webster's hurt him tonight. He had some open shots, and he hadn't been able to hit.
Boise Winters missed it. David Thurkill got the rebound, and he's fouled by Curtis Wallace. I tell you, there were a couple of thoroughbreds in the air on that one. Let's take a look at it again. There's the missed shot. And there's the collision.
I think it was a good call.
A couple of B-52s hitting each other in midair. And it'll be out of bounds to Bradley. Under their own basket, they lead at 20-14. This is the biggest lead by either club tonight. 7:21 to go in the first half. Donald Reese triggers it into Willie Scott, who wasn't even supposed to start tonight because of a groin pull. Boise Winters, the freshman, back over to Mitchell Anderson. Tulane back in that 2-3 zone. Boise Winters. And the rebound high, John Holston. Holston averages almost 2.5 rebounds a ball game, so he's capable of going up for a guard.
You know, Elton Webster's Tulane's poorest shooter from the field. He's only averaging 41%. Bradley apparently knows that, and they've been letting Webster take the shots, and he's been missing.
Webster on the far wing, back out in front. Around the perimeter, Bradley in that 2-3 zone. Rhythm jumper will not fall. Rebound to the floor. David Thurkill saves it to Mitchell Anderson. Bradley on the run again. Willie Scott returns to Anderson. Mitchell Anderson with 4. And Bradley leads it by 8 now at 22-14. We have 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Long way to go.
So far, Bradley's attempted twice as many shots from the field as Tulane has.
Morrow, Holston, left hand push, rims it in and out, no good, and Boise Winters with the rebound, and he's been fouled by Elton Webster. And on Webster, that is his first personal foul. First personal foul on Webster. As a team, that is the 7th team foul against Tulane, so Bradley's in the bonus now, and will be for the next 6:06.
Tulane's digging itself a hole right now, and it's something they can't afford to do.
This is a gutsy move by Ned Fowler. He's bringing the freshman John Williams back into the ball game, even though he's got 3 personal fouls. It says he's got confidence in the kid, that he can play basketball even with 3 personal fouls.
Plus the fact he has to change the momentum. Right now, Bradley's dictating the momentum of the game. Tulane can't buy a basket, and they've fallen 8 points behind. They might go 10 behind after he shoots his free throws.
Boise Winters a 50% free throw shooter, but when you consider through the first 10 games he was less than 20%. He didn't improve on his average there. He missed it. And the rebound to the Green Wave, who hasn't scored in a long time. Morrill out in front, looking over that Bradley zone defense. Bradley opened up in the man-to-man. They went zone after a couple of fouls. Morrow to Tony Wallace in the middle of the paint. Turnaround jumper by Thompson is good, and he's got 10 points.
They needed that. Until that goal, Bradley outscored Tulane 14-2 in about an 8-minute series of plays.
I'm very impressed with Paul Thompson. He's a good basketball player.
He's a money player. NIT, he's way over his season average.
Donald Reese lost it, picked it up, put it up, and he missed it. David Thirdkill gets the board and clears. Willie Scott. Bradley going to the board like thunder horses. Boise Winters got it back. Boise's averaging almost 5 rebounds a ball game. The freshman from Chicago. And it's 24-16. Bradley's lead is back to 8 again.
Now, Tulane was dominating the defensive boards, but the last couple of trips down, Bradley's been doing a good job of getting follow-up shots.
Boise Winters picks up the personal foul on the wing as he was going for the steal against Elton Webster. It'll be a common violation. Bradley will put Tulane into the bonus. The next foul, here it is again.
Yeah, going for the ball. He caught him on the arm.
Out of bounds, Green Wave. They will control. Morrow moves it inbounds as we move to the 5-minute mark of the ball game's first half. Morrow, Wallace, Tony Wallace. And the rebound to Mitchell Anderson. Bradley, after a slow start on the boards, has really picked up the tempo and has started to go to the boards.
Well, which Bradley's been able to do, they've been denying Tulane the inside. They're making Tulane shoot from the perimeter, and Tulane hasn't been hitting from the perimeter with the exception of Paul Thompson.
Willie Scott, Donald Reese to the baseline. Donald Reese in double figures now with 10 points. The senior center from Chicago averaging 12.5 a ball game. And Bradley has the biggest lead of the night now at 10 at 26-16. Morrow to Webster. Back out in front to Morrow to Wallace. In the middle, Thompson. Boy, I like him. Paul Thompson, 12 points in the first half. He's got 2/3 of their points, and it's 26-18.
Paul Thompson is keeping Tulane from getting blown out right at the moment.
Nobody else has more than 2 points. And Bradley moves it up over the timeline at their own leisure. Boise Winters, Willie Scott, and Mitchell Anderson. Tulane back in a 2-3 zone. They started out, too, just like Bradley, man-to-man. Then they've gone to the zone. Thirdkill has it blocked out of there and a foul. And it'll be a goaltending call. Thirdkill with 4. The goaltending call on Paul Thompson. Bradley again by 10 at 28-18. Morrow brings it up over the timeline. On the left side to Webster. Bradley does give him some room to navigate. To Wallace, to Morrow. Morrow back over to Wallace. His jumper is up and it won't fall. And a foul going to be called against Thompson. And on Thompson, his second. And we will take the walk to the other end where Donald Reese will go to the free throw line for Bradley. Bradley coach Dick Versace talking it over with everybody but Boise Winters. Now Boise's coming down to the other end to join the powwow.
So far, Tulane hasn't been the same basketball team that played the first 2 NIT games. They look like they are not playing with the intensity they played against LSU and now Nevada, Las Vegas. They also are being denied the inside. They hurt both of those teams with good inside games.
Donald Reese gets the free throw down. He's got 11 points now, and it's 29-18. Bradley's Braves leading by 11 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds right on the nose to go in this basketball game's first half. Reese will get another one. And he won't get the roll on that one, and the rebound pulled out of there by Thompson.
The 11-point lead by Bradley is the biggest for an opponent against Tulane so far in the NIT.
Webster, Morrow, Wallace, Tony Wallace. They work Thompson inside the zone, and Daryl Morrow gets his second jumper almost from the same spot on the floor he got his first one down. He's got 4 points, and it's a 9-point deficit Tulane faces now, 29-20. Mitchell Anderson to Willie Scott, who glances up at the scoreboard and moves his way in. Boise Winters and Willie Scott. Play catch on the right wing. In the middle of the paint, again Donald Reese. Elton Webster with the rebound, and a foul going to be called on Boise Winters. Personal foul number 2 on Boise. Let's take a look again. There's Boise coming into the screen right there.
He's going over the back. You know, so far, Bradley's been able to deny Tulane the inside, force Tulane to shoot the perimeter shots. Now, Paul Thompson's had a hot hand. Dale Morrow hit a couple, but mainly that's playing into Bradley's game. Tulane is not necessarily a good outside shooting team, and they've been taking the outside shot. So in the long run, this is going to be difficult to catch up this way.
Elton Webster gets the first one down. He is the first junior college All-American ever to come into the Tulane program. And he came with Ned Fowler. And he's got 3 free throws tonight, all 3 of his points. And Tulane's getting back into this basketball game. 29-22. Bradley's 12-point lead is now down to 7 as the clock spins under 3 minutes to go for the first half. Willie Scott and Boise Winters play catch on the right wing. Boise's not afraid to pull the trigger, and he missed that one.
That's just what Tulane needed in this spot, a couple of those 25-footers, and hope they don't fall.
Tony Wallace had the board, and Tulane pushes it up floor. They're never in a big hurry. Very patient, very poised basketball team. Wallace down low. Mitchell Anderson deflected it out of bounds. They were looking downstairs for John Williams. Williams, who averages 15-3, the team's leading scorer, riding with 3 personal fouls and 2 points so far in the first half. He'll get back into flow second half. Morrill back out in front to Elton Webster. There's Williams. Good ball movement by the Green Wave. And they throw it away. David Thirdkill on the telegraph pass. As the clock spins down to the 2-minute mark in the first half, Bradley leading 29-22. Anderson and Willie Scott to Boise Winters. Back to Scott. Tulane still in that 2-3 zone. And boy, I tell you, there's some kind of physical play going on inside that zone between Donald Reese and John Williams. David Thirdkill with the trigger, and he got it. David Thirdkill, the senior from St. Louis, with 6 points. And Bradley leads it by 9 again at 31-22. Thirdkill with the outlet pass deflection.
Ned Fowler said coming in that Bradley was a lot like Nevada, Las Vegas, except they play smarter and they were a better outside shooting team, and that's exactly what's happened so far.
He had him pegged just right.
And Tulane's passing has not been crisp. In the first 2 NIT games, they were a crisp passing basketball team. Tonight, they've already committed 12 turnovers. Maybe half of the 12 turnovers really weren't forced by Bradley. They were just bad passes by Tulane.
Barney Mines, the junior from Joliet, into the ball game for Bradley. And Donald Reese, who has 2 personal fouls, to the bench. He'll ride out the last minute and a half of this one, at least here in the first half. Elton Webster, Darryl Morrill. Willie Scott's not going to give him that shot again. Hall Thompson. And David Thirdkill sweeps the boards and kicks it out to Willie Scott. They call him the road runner here in Peoria. And you can see why, I'm sure.
The race is holding up one finger.
Bradley going to wait for one shot. As the clock spins down to a minute to go, Bradley leading 31-22 as we near the halfway mark in this ball game. Barney Mines.
Wow.
It hits the back support, goes out of bounds. And Dick Versace,
he's a little unhappy with that. He's
not happy with that shot at all. He's saying, Barney said, I didn't know it.
I'm showing you one finger for one shot, and you're taking a 25 or 30 footer.
Comes with 52 seconds to go. Ned Fowler says one shot now. And his Green Wave will push it up floor, trailing by 9, and the clock burning down to 45 seconds for the first half. Elton Webster for the Green Wave. Very patient, very well-disciplined basketball team.
The difference tonight, those Tulane turnovers, plus the fact they haven't been able to get inside with John Williams. Bradley's done an excellent job defensively against John Williams. They're not in the inside, and except for Paul Thompson and a couple of goals by Morrow, Tulane hasn't hit from the outside.
20 seconds to go. We'll count it down here at the end of the first half. Morrow, Elton Webster, they'll give him that shot if they want it. Back to Morrow, turns and looks up at the field house clock. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 on the right wing. Wallace. Boise Winters had the rebound, and Williams picked it up and scored, and he's fouled by David Thirdkill.
No time left, but he ought to get the free throws.
He will get the free throws, I'm sure. David Thirdkill can't believe it. That is his second personal foul. Williams will go to the free throw line, and we'll keep it right here until he's finished. Let's take a look at it again. Here it is. There's Williams getting a loose ball rebound.
Must have been body, because I didn't see a hand. Must have been body.
And Williams will go to the free throw line. He is a 68% free throw shooter. 6'9" freshman from Louisiana. And he will get another one. He got the weak side board, and David Thirkill gave him a little body on the way up. John Williams with a second toss, and he missed them both. We have played 20 minutes of this quarterfinal round game at Robertson Memorial Field House in Peoria. And our score, Bradley 31, Tulane 22. We'll be right back in a minute.
Browns has the only word in active footwear. That word is Nike. Nikes will take you from hoops to hurdles, free throws to finish lines, marathons to meets. Athletes all over America have designed and tested Nike shoes, so you know you're getting the top in performance and fit. So if you want Nike shoes,
come to Browns. Browns Sporting Goods for the games you play.
The call of Schweppeffervescence, the curiously refreshing sound that signals that a drink is about to explode with taste. Schweppeffervescence makes Schweppes mixers a far cry from anything you've ever used to dignify a drink. It's why we unhumbly call Schweppes the taste maker. Tonic water, bitter lemon, club soda, ginger ale.
The big Toyota dealer sales marathon. This could be the biggest spring sales event in Toyota history. Toyota dealers have trucks, but they're also racing to sell all their 1982 cars, too. By the end of the month, Toyota's lowest price car, Corolla Tercel. Sporty Celicus, luxury Cressidas, everything goes.
What a choice!
Many dealers are staying open late, so come on in and run them ragged. When you buy, you win. Look for the marathon sign at participating Toyota dealers.
How would you like to become a millionaire, too? Yes, it is quite possible, depending on how much and how soon you start saving in a University National Bank individual retirement account. You could become a millionaire. Perhaps best of all, your IRA funds are not taxable until you retire, and then in all likelihood you'll be paying less tax. Get the facts on your secure tomorrow with an individual retirement account from University National Bank and see how easy becoming a millionaire can be.
Back here at Robertson Memorial Field House, Dan Sweeney, Buddy DiLiberto, and Buddy, to the sounds of New York, New York. Don't you wish you had $1 for every time you've heard that song this week?
It has a special significance tonight for the people in Bradley right now. Their team on top by 9 at the half, and I will say this, from the way the first half was played, it's going to be extremely tough for Tulane to come back against Bradley. Mainly because Bradley's been a more patient team than LSU and Nevada, Las Vegas was. Mainly because Bradley's been able to deny Tulane the high percentage inside shots, something that Tulane did a lot of against LSU and Nevada, Las Vegas. So far, Tulane's had 12 turnovers to Bradley's 2. That's translated into about 8 of the Bradley points. They lead by 9. Bradley's gotten 14 more shots from the field, and while they're only shooting 38%, the Tulane's 45% from the field, taking 14 more shots, they're putting the ball up much more, and that's translated into a 9-point lead, and believe me, it looks like a solid 9-point lead right now.
I tell you, Buddy, a lot has been said and written about this Tulane basketball team, and the point that has to be made, and I'm certainly not going to be a person to make excuses for anybody. You don't have to do that in college basketball. But let's face it, Tulane's been on the road for 3 games. They came directly to Peoria from Las Vegas. They haven't been home since March the 12th or 13th, almost a week ago. They started out crisp. They looked very good at the beginning of the basketball team. They maybe tended to flatten out a little bit. Now, maybe that was because of the travel. I tend to believe it was basically because Bradley just took them out of their basketball game and was able to play their kind of game. And we talked about that earlier. Bradley's the kind of team that can afford to make a team make mistakes. Here's another look at the goaltending call earlier. And there it was again. I tell you, I'm very impressed with a couple of different players at Tulane, as Paul Thompson, needless to say, is an offensive threat. I haven't been able to pick up too much of how he plays defense, but I like the way John Williams moves. He's a fine-looking freshman.
Dan, he is, but I'll tell you right now, Bradley, with the patience they're using, with the shooting they're doing from the outside, I'd have to think they are the best team that Tulane has played in the NIT competition so far. The main thing, Tulane on the road, the 3rd night in 6 days, but basically I think that would have shown in the second half. I really can't think you can attribute
being tired, being on the road that long in the first half. I think it's been good play by Bradley. And the main thing also is that Elton Webster and Tony Wallace have taken shots from the outside. Now, they're not two of Tulane's better shooters. They've had the shots open, they're denying the other players, and they've taken them. And they just haven't fallen for them. Paul Thompson, fortunately, has hit almost everything he's thrown up, and otherwise, this would be a one-sided basketball game.
Pretty good basketball game as it is if you're rooting for Bradley's Braves, who lead it here at halftime, 31-22. We want to welcome and say hi to all of our friends down in New Orleans, Channel 6 Sports, bringing you the ball game, and our friends down in Champaign here in Illinois also carrying the ball game. We'll be back and take a look at first half scoring and shooting percentages right after you take a look at these.
Sometimes a simple river crossing isn't so simple. And when you've got him back, it's your turn. Push. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Push. Head for the bush beer. Head for the mountains.
Sherman.
Hi, Jack. This is Colleen Callahan.
Hi, Colleen. How are you doing with your new microwave?
It's great, and I really appreciate the excellent price you gave me, too.
You won't believe what I'm doing right now.
What?
I'm talking to you over a new Zenith Space Phone TV.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious. Simply by pushing a button on a remote control, you can answer your phone.
Well, I'll have to stop by and see it. I'm sure you'd give me the best price.
Get your new Zenith Space Phone TV at Sherman's Place in Peoria.
If you like to eat light for lunch, you're gonna love Red Lobster. There's our tasty shrimp salad with your favorite dressing, or delicious broiled flounder. Oh, how about a delicate seafood crepe with creamy lemon cheese sauce? Or maybe our light langostino salad. Doesn't that look good? Come into Red Lobster for lunch, seafood lover. We'll help you keep it light.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
Flooded basements are hazardous and can only get worse. Basement Dewatering Systems has a fast, sure way to remove basement water permanently. The dewatering system is installed inside the basement during any season of the year. Concrete floors are not damaged, disturbed, or replaced. Outside walls are not touched. This system is placed at one location, only at the trouble spot where the wall meets the joint. Find out more about this effective, low-cost solution to basement water problems. Call Basement Dewatering Systems at 674-4000.
Sensible alternative to large, research-oriented universities and small liberal arts colleges restricted by limited programs. Bradley is well suited to offer many of the advantages of both these types of institutions. Given this definition, Bradley is at once a place and an idea. 85 years ago, Mrs. Lydia Moss Bradley founded a school as a living testament following the death of her husband and 6 children. She was a woman of outstanding vision, courage, and determination. So in 1897, the Bradley Polytechnic Institute was born. With a class of about 100 young people with hopes and goals and foresight, and the willingness to work hard for a dream. Year by year, that tradition continues. Decades of change have not brought havoc. Instead, what has emerged today is a progressive university of international renown, imaginative, innovative, and ever inspired by the tenets of the school set forth so long ago. Bradley's first director once said, "A school does not consist of stone and mortar, but of human thought and love." Never has that been more apparent here. Diligence and dedication have provided the balance Bradley offers, but the human touch has made the difference. Each chapter of Bradley's unique history has meant a commitment to the community as well, and to preserve a sense of service and the enrichment of life Lydia Moss Bradley believed in so much. Everywhere at Bradley, good changes have brought benefits to the area. Conceived 85 years ago as an active integration in society for the betterment of the quality of life, Bradley University represents a special contribution toward growth, opportunity, and personal fulfillment for those who care to share. Many things perish with the passing of time. Hope never does. Bradley never will. Bradley University, the place, the idea.
Use your card, do your banking in a hurry. Use your card, and don't you worry. You'll be living free and easy, the way your living should be. Financial freedom, that's for sure. You'll be living free and easy. Use your card, get financial freedom at the First.
Get your financial freedom from Automatic and the First.
In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right.
Come discover the delightful place where chocolate falls rich and thick, and all around it's light and creamy.
Come discover the one place where good taste comes through. Good things happen to you. In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right.
And we're back here at Robertson Memorial Field House. Tulane trailing Bradley 31-22. And Buddy, the big figure we talked about, the turnovers in the ball game. Bradley playing what I think is one of the cleanest games they have played all year long. They've only turned the ball over twice. They've forced Tulane into 8 steals. Now that was something we talked about earlier. Speed. Bradley's team speed as compared to Tulane's team speed. Tulane is not a quick basketball team at all. They rely on the setup at either end of the floor. They don't like to get into a run-and match. And Bradley clearly right now using that team speed to their advantage.
Well, it's true, except LSU and Nevada, Las Vegas had team speed maybe even a little bit better than Bradley. Certainly as good as Bradley, and it didn't affect Tulane as much. So Tulane's passing has not been crisp in this game. They've made some bad passes. They've been denied the inside, something they've been able to get against the other team.
Rebounding has been a key part of this ball game. Bradley has been out-rebounded by a very good jumping Tulane ball club, 18-15 here in the first half. And this is one of those times here as you watch the replay when Bradley gets to run the basketball and Mitchell Anderson gets the jumper. Now Mitchell's Bradley's all-time leading scorer. He scored over 2,200 points. He's been held to 4 in the first half. In fact, let's just take a look at our scoring right now. Bradley is being led by Donald Reese with 11 and 6 points for David Thirdkill, and then 4 points apiece for Boise Winters for Willie Scott, who also has 8 assists in the first half. For Tulane, 12 points for Paul Thompson, and then we go all the way down to 4 points out of Darrell Morrill, 4 points out of Elton Webster, and 2 points out of John Williams. And I would believe Ned Fowler would want a little more balance and not to have one person carry so much of the ball.
I think that it's going to be, well, we're going to tell you one other thing about Tulane's second half strategy, but we'll be back right after this timeout.
We will be right back.
Thatch can choke a lawn. You can remove thatch by messing up your lawn with a power rake or messing up your back. Or you can use the self-propelled Snapper High Vac with the economical Thatcherizer attachment. The result, a beautiful revitalized lawn. And you come out in great shape too. Snapper.
Get a free Thatcherizer with the purchase of a Snapper self-propelled or riding mower in Peoria from Garns Power Equipment and in Ottawa from Midwest Landscape.
Lum's presents another tasty house specialty, delicious liver grilled to a turn, smothered in savory sautéed onions, served with mouth-watering garlic bread, your choice of potato, and unlimited trips to their special salad bar, all for only $3.79, on special every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Lum's. For dessert, try Lum's exclusive key lime pie, freshly made every day. So for a delicious home-cooked meal, treat yourself to Lum's.
When it's time to eat, it's time for Lum's.
Come on, Tiger. Time for bed. You know, he has his security blanket, and now I have one too. A total blanket of security from GE Cablevision. It's not just an alarm system. It actually puts us in touch with the emergency help we need. You see, if someone tries to break in, an alarm goes off here and at GE headquarters. And after they verify that there's trouble, GE sends the police. And if there's a fire, this alarm gets us out of the house. Well, another alarm goes off at GE headquarters, so they can notify the fire department, whether we're home or not. Just by pushing one of these buttons, we can get police or medical assistance right from our bed. Yeah, you might think you're too old for a security blanket, but you'll sleep a whole lot better knowing your home or office is protected 24 hours a day by a whole new concept in security that immediately puts you in touch with the help you need. GE Cablevision Security Service.
We are back at Robertson Memorial Field House in Peoria, Illinois. Here's what we were talking about, the team speed. Willie Scott slaps it, and then Bradley comes out running. And that's been really the story of the ball game. Bradley has 8 steals in the first half, and they get the three-point play right there. Bradley is making the big play now, buddy, and that's been the difference in the first half, among other things. The turnover ratio, I think, is phenomenal. Bradley's only turned the ball over twice in the entire first half, and they lead it by 9 points. What do you suppose Tulane's going to have to do to get back in the ballgame?
Well, for one thing, they're going to have to be patient in that first 5 minutes. They're going to have to figure out a way to get the ball inside because they're not that great a perimeter shooting team, and unless they can get Paul Thompson and Hot Rod Williams loose on the inside, they're in big trouble. Tulane was doing all right in the first 7.5 minutes of the game. In fact, they held a 12-8 lead, even though they were committing turnovers. Then they went cold. Then Bradley started dictating the tempo of the game. And in the next 6.5 minutes, Bradley outscored Tulane 14-2. And so far, that turnaround has held up to a 9-point halftime lead.
One other score in the NIT tonight, and it's already a final. Georgia with Dominique Wilkins and company. They will be in Madison Square Garden next Monday and Wednesday night. They defeated Virginia Tech, another one of the 4 teams out of the Metro that was still alive going into tonight in the postseason tournaments. Georgia winner tonight, 90-73, and nearing halftime, Oklahoma is leading Dayton 39-31. Dayton, the team that took the University of Illinois out of the NIT tournament on, what was it, Tuesday night or Monday night. We're ready to go. Bradley, who lost the opening tip, will start out with a basketball. Final 20 minutes of play for one of these two teams this year, and Bradley opens up leading by 9 with the basketball. Willie Scott, Bradley on the floor with Willie Scott, David Thirdkill, Barney Mines, Mitchell Anderson, and Donald Reese. Willie Scott got it. Willie Scott can not only dish out an assist or 2, he had 8 of those in the first half, he can score too. He's got 6 points. And Bradley again with that 3/4 court zone. They call it a diamond and 1. John Williams, the big freshman. 33-22. I think this is the biggest lead of the ball game, 11 points.
It matches the biggest lead, Dan.
Morrow, Bradley in that 2-3 zone. Morrow again, got it. Good looking shooter. He's got 6 points, and so the guards return with a basket apiece to start things off here in the second half.
Darrell's only averaged 6 points a game for the season, so he's already had his season average.
Thirdkill, Barney Mines, back to David Thirdkill. Look at the double team down low on Mitchell Anderson. Willie Scott, all alone. And the little guy bites back again. He's got 8 points in the ball game, and the first 4 Bradley points here in the second half. And I think this half started out just like the first half. Bradley leading by 11 again at 35-24.
All the pregame publicity had Willie Scott a doubtful starter, but then Fowler felt he would start all the while.
Holston into the middle to Webster. Back out in front to Holston. Morrow. Got another one. Bombs away, Brigade, and it's 35-26. Back to a 9-point ball game. 7,300 a packed house for the final game here at Robertson Memorial Field House. David Thirdkill. Barney Mines. And the rebound to John Williams. Williams to Morrow, and Tulane can cut it down to 7.
Scott has scored the first 4 points for Bradley in both halves. So his 8 points have come at the start of each half.
Morrow with the ball out in front to Webster. Elton Webster to Morrow. Tulane with their starters on the floor, the team they started the basketball game with. And I think they've made only 2 substitutions. Elton Webster. Rebound to David Thirdkill.
Webster's 0 for 4 from the field now.
Barney Mines ahead of the break. Barney Mines with his 4th point of the night. And Bradley again by 11 at 37-26. Tulane not rattling, staying very patient with the basketball as Holston moves it up over the timeline to Morrow. Morrow, the junior guard from New Orleans, Louisiana, hometown boy. Back to Holston, to Morrow. Spelled M-O-R-E-A-U. Far right wing to Holston. They're looking at inside. Mitchell Anderson.
They're not playing Webster as tight. They want him to shoot.
And the shot is no good in the lane by Thompson. And Bradley again with the rebound. They're coming down 3-on-3. Mitchell Anderson with a jumper. And the rebound to Tulane. Nothing underneath the Green Wave basketball players. Thompson with the board, and he clears to Morrow, and Morrow will bring it up court. 16.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Bradley leading at 37-26. On the line, nothing more than a trip to the Big Apple, the Final Four of the NIT. Holston, Morrow, Barney Mines goes out to cover him. He gets a pick from Webster. Back on the far side to Holston. Morrow, bingo. Morrow with all 6 points of the second half for Tulane. And the Green Wave again back to within 9 points at 37-28. We have played 4 minutes of the second half already.
In the game, Morrow's hit 5 of 6, all from long range. So Morrow and Paul Thompson have kept Tulane in the basketball.
Here's Barney Mines. Barney Mines with 6 points and 4 in the second half, and Bradley's got all 8 of their second half points out of their guards. In the backcourt for Tulane is Holston. Brings it up over the timeline, lobs it deep into the corner to Williams. Had a double team momentarily. Back out to Moreau. Morrow back on the far right side to Holston. Morrow. Barney Mines goes out to cover up. Bradley still in that 2-3 zone. Far right side to Holston. Back to Morrow. Puts the shoulder down and drives. Lob down low to Williams. Takes it up over Third-Kill, and Third-Kill draws a personal foul. That'll be his third. And at the free throw line will go Williams, I believe, for a 2. Let's take a look again, buddy.
This is one of the few times they've been able to get the ball in the hot rod. And, of course, he picked up the foul. He hooked him on the arm.
Donald Reese was fronting him that time. They got the pass over Reese, and once it was there, David Third-Kill tried to help out from the weak side, picked up the personal foul.
Now, after Tom had run out in the first half, John Williams missed 2 free throws. Let's see what he does here.
He's a good free throw shooter, really, 68% on the year. And he'll be at the line to shoot 2 here. And he missed that one.
That's been costly.
He will get another one.
That's 3 points he's cost him on free throws so far.
Tulane is 4 out of 7 from the free throw line as a team tonight. Second toss, Williams, and he missed them both from David Third-Kill with the rebound. Bradley leading by 11, looking to make it 13. This is the biggest lead of the ball game is 11 points, and it's been there several times. Donald Reese traveled. Donald Reese walked with a slid the pivot foot as he went to make the move down the paint, and it'll be out of bounds Tulane. Go ahead, buddy.
It's all starting to mushroom, Dan, on Tulane. It's something they haven't done so far in the first 2 NIT games. Missed critical free throws. And tonight, when they need them, so far they haven't gotten them. At least John Williams had, and he's 0 for 4.
Daryl Morrow, who's got all 6 points for Tulane here in the second half so far, all from long range. He has the ball. They move the ball well.
Tulane has spread it out a little more in this half, and they're passing a little more crisply.
Morrow will not get that one. Rebound out of bounds Tulane. David Third-Kill.
Oh, they'll yell about that call. No, they didn't yell too much. I thought possibly it went off of Hot Rod's fingers.
They get a little hyper because they're jacked a little more. It'll be out of bounds to Tulane. Morrow will trigger it in, and he gets it into Elton Webster. Webster, the junior college transfer out of Austin, Texas. To Morrow. Bradley at 2-3, which looks like a 2-1-2 from time to time. They slide Third-Kill up into the middle. And that may resemble a 3-2 from time to time. Holston out in front, Morrow. Drives around Barney Mines and then throws it away. It'll be out of bounds. Bradley ball with 14:22 for the ball game. Bradley leading it 39-28. They are gunning for their 400th win at Robertson Memorial Field House. This is game number 500. Willie Scott to David Third-Kill. David Third-Kill to Barney Mines. Back to Third-Kill. He won't get that one. Donald Reese will. And he's fouled underneath. And the foul's going to be on Webster, I believe. Elton Webster in Third-Kill, and Reese going up for the No, they got Morrow for it.
Daryl Morrow.
On Morrow, that is his first personal foul, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor with 14:06 for the ball game. Our score, Bradley 39 and Tulane 28. We will be right back.
Peoria Savings is pleased to announce the first tax-exempt savings plan in U.S. history. It's a new federally approved and insured tax-free savings certificate. Maturity is 1 year and minimum deposit only $500. The exemption is up to $2,000 tax-free for a joint return, $1,000 for an individual. For current rates or to start your tax-free insured certificate, visit any Peoria Savings office, downtown, Knoxville Executive Plaza, and Wardcliffe Center.
New from Whirlpool, sensational bonus buys just when you need them most. At our store now, Whirlpool's regular capacity automatic washer and high performance dryer. The washer has energy-saving water temp selector and water-saving load size selector, plus much more. The dryer has 5 drying cycles, including permanent press, and 3 drying temps. We're waiting for you with our Whirlpool bonus buys right now. Come see us.
Come see Cohen's in Pekin, Sheridan Village, and the Play Center Showcase in downtown Peoria.
Back here at Robertson Memorial Field House, here's a play just before the intermission.
Morrow pushed off. You can see it plainly there.
It'll be out of bounds to Bradley. They lead it by 11 points. And again, we want to welcome our friends down in New Orleans, Louisiana. WDSU Channel 6. Good to have you with us tonight.
Dan, just what I expected. So far, Tulane's found it extremely difficult to cut into Bradley's lead.
And Tulane coming out in a man-to-man after the timeout. Barney Mines to Willie Scott. Bradley spreading it out a little bit. They post up Donald Reese down low. Return to Barney Mines. The third. Back to our Mitchell Anderson. What a move. Mitchell Anderson with 6. And Bradley with their biggest lead of the night now at 41-28. During the timeout, Tony Wallace checks in for the Green Wave.
Tulane's going to have to be extremely careful on this series down court.
Daryl Morrow out in front. Bradley stays in that 2-3 zone that they've been in most of the ball game. Blunt against Willie Scott. On the far right wing, there's the lob inside for Williams, who wasn't looking for it. Bradley comes out with a loose ball. Willie Scott down the lane, shovels it to Donald Reese. And the rebound after the missed basket to Tulane. Daryl Morrow.
Green Wave got a break there. Looked like Bradley had a 15-point lead. And the ball wouldn't fall.
Micah Blunt back out in front to Morrow. Over to Wallace. Tony Wallace. Willie Scott goes out and covers him up. Back over to Blunt. He pulls the trigger, and he got the basket. Blunt is averaging only 4.5 points a ball game.
Dan, he was a 3-year starter until Ned Fowler came. He didn't fit into Fowler's the way Fowler likes to play basketball, but he's helped a little bit coming up the bench from time to time.
David Thirdkill on the dribble for Bradley to Donald Reese at the high post. Back over to number 3, Willie Scott. Donald Reese. He can't buy that basket. And out in front, we have a foul going to be called on Mitchell Anderson. And on Mitchell Anderson, that is his third. Bradley now with Thirdkill and Anderson, both with 3 personal fouls. And for Tulane, John Williams with 3 personal fouls, and we still have an eternity to go in his basketball game. Almost 12.5 minutes, and Boise Winters is going to come on for the Braves. Green Wave push it up court. Daryl Morrow, fine playmaking guard. On the right side to Wallace, to Blunt. Morrow from 20. Daryl Morrow with 8 in the half and 12 in the ball game. And it's 41-32. Tulane is back to within 9. They need a run here pretty soon. And Willie Scott in no hurry, walking it up over the timeline. The crowd is 7,300 coming to life. Barney Mines, Donald Reese, and Willie Scott. Willie Scott missed that one, and the rebound is pulled out of there by John Williams. Williams covers it up, and Tulane comes up with a chance to cut the lead down to 7. Daryl Morrow in between the rings. On the near side to Blunt, back out in front to Morrow. They work on the right side, Wallace to Blunt. Back over to Morrow. Bradley goes out, covers up. Blunt. Back of the iron, no good, and there's going to be a foul called. And a foul, I believe, is on Thompson. Either Thompson or Wallace. Let's take a look again. They got Wallace on that. Here it is again, buddy.
He came down on his back.
No doubt about that one. On Tony Wallace, that is his first and the second team foul against Tulane. And there's a timeout on the floor with the 11:20 to go in the ball game. Our score is Bradley 41, Tulane 32.
Who says you can't discount the imports? John Bierce Ford Subaru says we can, and we're doing it for a limited time only. We are discounting new Subarus a full 5%. That's a big 5% right off the top of 50 super popular four-wheel and front-wheel drive wagons, hatchbacks, and sedans. This is an unbelievable offer. Discounts of up to $500 on a quality import. Hurry, get your 5% Subaru discount before they're all gone. See the price leader now, John Bierce Ford Subaru.
The Bedroom Place presents a free inventory sale. Many of our price tags have been marked down to half. Yes, taking inventory is no fun. No, we didn't buy it to count, we bought it to sell. Yes, we're selling new waterbed merchandise and closeouts. Why? Why? To make room around here. Come in, make us an offer during this free inventory sale. We'll make a deal because it just might be an offer we cannot refuse, I tell you. Yes.
We are back at Robertson Memorial Field House. Bradley coach Dick Versace talking it over with the Braves, who lead at 41-32 with 11:20 to go in this ball game. And buddy, we talked just before the timeout that Tulane really needs to make a run here pretty soon. Even though there's still a lot of time to go, they're not making any headway against the 9-point deficit.
Well, except, Dan, about 3 minutes ago, Bradley had a chance to go up by 15. They had a close-in shot. They were leading by 13. They blew it. So since then, Tulane has been whittled down to 9. Dale Morrow, who's been the reason Tulane stayed in the game in the second half, he's hit 4 goals, all from long range, 8 of Tulane's 10 points in this half so far.
Not bad for a little guy. Love to see the little guy get some points. Willie Scott up over the timeline for Bradley. The Boise winners who checked in during the break. Barney Mines. Donald Reese checked out for Bradley during the timeout period. Mitchell Anderson has it poked away, and he's fouled from behind. And the foul's going to be on Blunt. That's the first on Blunt, the third team foul against the Green Wave. Let's take a look at it again.
Micah doesn't think he should have been called for it. Let's watch it now. Let's watch it.
Going to have a little hand check.
Little body check. Little body check.
Got him with the belly dance across the paint, and it'll be out of bounds to Bradley. Boise Winters saves it on the inbounds and hands to Willie Scott. Tulane backs into the man-to-man defense again. 41-32 with 10:50 to go in the ball game. Bradley leading by 9. Boise Winters to Willie Scott. They post third kill up down low inside, and he swings out to the wing now. Boise Winters to Barney Mines. Willie Scott way on the wing on the far side, and Mitchell Anderson pulls the trigger and gets the basket. Anderson with 8, 4 in each half, and Bradley leads it by 11 again at 43-32. Darryl Morrow out in front. Bradley goes back into that 2-3, maybe a 2-1-2 defense. Wallace to Morrow to Blunt, back to Wallace. He missed that one. Mitchell Anderson scoops the board out of there and gets it off to Willie Scott. Willie Scott with the lob to the goal. It's deflected, and Tulane comes out with it. One of the few mistakes Bradley's made tonight. Thompson, who hasn't scored in the second half, misses, following Micah Blunt with the basket, and he's got 4 points since coming in here in the second half, and it's a 9-point game again at 43-34.
Micah had good position that time for the follow-up shot.
Under 10 minutes to go in the ball game now. David Thurkill out in front against man-to-man pressure from Thompson to Boise Winters to Anderson. Willie Scott, there's the offensive foul. They're going to get Mitchell Anderson for pushing off, and Mitchell can't believe it. And Dick Versace can't believe it either. And on Mitchell Anderson, that is his 4th. Take a look at it again here. We'll see if it was.
Oh, yeah,
it was.
Absolutely. Good call. No argument about that call.
No doubt about that at all, and a fine defensive play by Micah Blunt. And Donald Reese is going to come back in, and the All-American Mitchell Anderson is going to come out.
Curtis Wallace back in for Tulane.
Curtis Wallace, a 6'7" junior from Huntsville, Texas.
He's giving Hot Rod Williams a breather.
And Curtis Wallace is the team's best field goal shooter, 70% from the floor this year.
He doesn't shoot often.
But when he does, Morrow over the timeline. Tulane looking to cut this lead down to 7. They do. Tony Wallace with his first basket of the night. It's a 7-point ball game at 43-36. Barney Mines out in front, Boise winners to Willie Scott. Willie Scott with a jumper. Willie Scott, the 5'11 junior from Chicago King High School, gets his 10th point. And Bradley leads it by 9 again at 45-36, just under 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Daryl Morrow inside the zone. Jumper won't fall. Thompson follows and misses, and he's fouled. And I think Boise winners or David Thirdkill got it. Take a look at it again, and if that's on Thirdkill, that's his 4th. I don't know. If there was a foul there.
That was a tough call for Bradley. That was a tough call.
At the free throw line will go Paul Thompson. Now Bradley's in serious foul trouble. Thirdkill and Anderson, a couple of the real stalwarts for this team, both riding with 4 personal fouls.
Almost 9 minutes left in the game, 8:50 to go.
And let me tell you, David Thirdkill is the kind of player that when something like that happens, it bothers him for a while. Free throw by Thompson is good. He's now got 13 points. He's a 78% free throw shooter. He had 12 in the first half, and his second free throw could pull him back to within 7. He missed it. The rebound in the lane. Tulane had it and lost it, and Willie Scott comes down with a rebound. Bradley on the attack, leading by 8. 8:40 to go in the ball game. Barney Mines to Donald Reese. Looked inside and then returned to Willie Scott. Down low to David Thirdkill. To Barney Mines. Back to Willie Scott. Against man-to-man pressure. Boise winners. Boise winners, the freshman from Chicago with 6 points, and it's 47-37. Bradley by 10, 8:17 for the ball game.
Bradley's just been an extremely good outside shooting team tonight, and that's what's kept them up there in that 10, 11, 12-point lead category.
Willie Scott picks up a cross-check foul. That's his first. And on Bradley in the second half. That's only the 15th foul against Bradley in the second half. Let's take a look at it again. Here it was. Willie goes for the steal.
That's what he did. Got him on the arm.
Got about a pound of flesh, and it's out of bounds Tulane. They're trying to cut it to 8 again. Wallace to Morrow. They work good ball movement to Micah Blunt.
That's 6 points off the bench for Blunt.
Well, they've been hiding him all night. 47-39. Bradley's lead is 8. Under 8 minutes to go in the ball game. This one's going to go down to the wire, folks. Donald Reese is fouled. Going to be a holdout. Foul's going to be called on Curtis Wallace, and that is his second personal foul.
I don't think it's any goal, though.
Foul way before. It'll be a common violation. 1, 2, 3, 4 team fouls against the Green Wave here in the second half. And it'll be out of bounds to the Braves into their own basket. 7:53 for the ball game. Donald Reese will trigger it in. To David Thirdkill, who's riding with 4 personal fouls. Out in front, Willie Scott. Back to Barney Mines. Inside Donald Reese. And another blocking foul going to be called on Curtis Wallace, and that is his 3rd. Take a look at it again.
Looked like Wallace got him with the body. Let's see if he did a little belly dance there. That's it. He bumped him with the body. Bumping him with the body. A little belly dance.
No doubt about that. All in all, this game, I think, has been officiated very well.
Yes, it has been.
And the Zebras get a bad rap from a lot of people, but they've done a pretty good job in this ball game. Willie Scott against man-to-man pressure, Donald Reese. 7.5 minutes in the ball game. David Thirdkill with the basket. And Curtis Wallace picks up his 3rd foul in 30 seconds. David Thirdkill with a big basket to get his 8th point. And look at it again.
Thirdkill got loose underneath. Wallace hit him with the body. Real good move by Thirdkill.
John Williams back into the ballgame, and Curtis Wallace picked up 3 personal fouls within 30 seconds of each other. And John Williams is back in, the 6'9" freshman from Soretto, Louisiana. And David Thirdkill to the free throw line. 3rd on the night is 2 out of 2. And he'll be shooting 1 shot with a chance for the hat trick. It's on the way, and he missed it. And the rebound swiped out of there by Michael Blunt. 49-39, Bradley leading by 10, 7.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Thompson Williams tipped and missed it again, and he missed it again, and Mines with a rebound. Willie Scott in traffic all the way down to Donald Reese. And Bradley leads it by 12 now at 51-39. 7 minutes to go in the ballgame. And Tulane wants a timeout.
That Fowler wants to talk it over right now because Tulane's only got 7 minutes left in the season unless they can make a dramatic turnaround.
Our score with 7 minutes to go. Bradley 51, Tulane's Green Wave 39.
You could win $1,000 or more in Thompson Food Basket's Jackpot Day contest. We'll have a drawing every week on television, and if your name is drawn and you've had your card punched that week, you win. It's as simple as that, nothing to buy. If the name drawn has not had their card punched that week, then $500 is added to next week's jackpot. While you could be winning thousands of dollars, and it costs you nothing to enter or play. Just register at your nearby Thompson Food Basket store. Pick up a set of the rules and get your jackpot card. Win thousands of dollars in Thompson Food Basket's Jackpot Day weekly contest. Register today.
There are certain times in everyone's life where we just need the use of additional funds. Perhaps you'd like to add extra rooms to your house, replace an aging heating or cooling system. Maybe it's just to pay off some unexpected debts due to illness or what have you. The folks at the Better Banks, Dunlap, Wyoming, Glassford, and Bartonville understand and are ready to make you a home equity loan at very attractive rates. If you're a homeowner in need of extra cash, come into one of the Better Banks near you. We want to be your bank.
Back here at Robertson Memorial Field House in Peoria, Bradley leading at 51-39. And let's show you just exactly how Bradley's managed to do it.
Bradley's hit the last 5 field goals it's attempted, and of course Tulane had cut it to 7. Now it's back up to 12, and I'd have to say the Green Wave is in deep trouble against a very good Bradley basketball team.
7 minutes right on the nose to go in the ball game, and Tulane will move the inbounds play in. Paul Thompson lost the handle, and he traveled with the ball. Thompson has not made too many turnovers tonight. He has not done much wrong for this Green Wave team. Gets a turnover there, and it'll be out of bounds to Bradley. Donald Reese will trigger it in. Tulane on the floor with Tony Wallace, Daryl Morrow, Paul Thompson, John Williams, Michael Blunt. Bradley with Willie Scott with the ball. Barney Mines, Donald Reese, David Thurkill, and Boise Winters. Barney Mines. Tulane has gone back into they're still in their man-to-man defense. David Thurkill, Donald Reese. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Bradley leading at 51-39. Willie Scott against Daryl Moore on defense. Bradley running their T-game. Donald Reese gets loose, gets the basket. Donald Reese with 15 points in the game now, and it's 53-39, the biggest lead of the night. Bradley by 14.
That's their biggest lead. Tulane needs a basket from Blunt. Didn't get it.
The rebound tip no good, and I think we're going to have somebody climbing in the act of rebounding. Nope, Donald Reese picks up his third personal foul. Backing out. Let's see if we can take, if we see it again. We're going to see it again. Let's watch it. There's Reese, right in the middle of the screen. Over the back. I'll tell you, this Tulane team.
Great position on rebounds many times.
Excellent. They're a very well-disciplined team, very well-coached team. From the corner, Tony Wallace, he pulled the gun and pulled the trigger right off the floor. And it's 53-41. Bradley by 12 again. Under 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Outlet pass, Micah Blunt deflects. And it'll be out of bounds to the Braves. The winner to Madison Square Garden Monday night semifinal showdown in the NIT, and the loser gets to think about it till next year. David Thurkill to Barney Mines. Out in front, Willie Scott. Clock continues to roll against Tulane. 5:40 to go in the game. Boise Winters, Donald Reese. Bradley running a double post high offense now to Willie Scott. Now they post Reese down low and get it to him. To Willie Scott. Back off to Barney Mines, down low to Reese, turnaround jumper. Mines had it and lost it. Reese picks up the loose ball. And the rebound to Thompson for Tulane. And the Green Wave want to run it down court. Morrow. Barney Mines poked it away from behind, and Bradley's got a 2-on-1 breakaway. Barney Mines with the solo. He's got 8 points. And Bradley leads it by 14 now at 55-41.
Well, I'd say Tulane's digging itself a hole right now. They're between a rock and a hard place. Incidentally, the Tulane basketball team will arrive back in New Orleans at Moysan at 5:10 p.m. tomorrow. They're going to bus directly to Tulane campus where a welcome home ceremony is planned at the Quad opposite McAllister Auditorium at 6 o'clock. So all the Tulane fans and students and everything, 6 o'clock at the Quad, a celebration. The team's due back at the airport at 5:10 tomorrow afternoon.
Daryl Morrow got it. Daryl Morrow with 10 points in the second half and 14 in the ball game, and it's 55-43. Bradley by a dozen. Under 5 minutes to go in the game now. Mitchell Anderson, who checked in during the timeout period. To Willie Scott. Tulane staying with that man-to-man defense.
Tulane's going to have to start gambling on defense now, of course, and that's, you pick up a lot of fouls sometimes that way, but it's the only thing they can do, down by 12 with time becoming a big factor.
Underneath, a holdout foul against John Williams. Now they're not going to get Williams. They're going to get Elton Webster for it. Take a look at it again. There's the lob in.
Got him with the body. Tulane's been getting a lot of belly fouls.
At the free throw line will go Mitchell Anderson. What an assignment for the freshman John Williams to have to guard Mitchell Anderson tonight on the man-to-man. And Williams has done a pretty good job. Anderson's been held to only 8 points tonight.
He's got 4 fouls, too, huh?
And he's been riding with 4 personal fouls for a while. First one from Mitchell is good. He is Bradley's all-time leading scorer. 6'8" senior from Chicago Metro. At one point this year, Bradley could have had the nation's top 3 leading scorers from each of the last 3 years. Anderson, Boise winners, and Pierre Cooper. Pierre Cooper came down with a kidney disorder and did not play this year. Anderson hits them both. Bradley leads it by 14 with 4.5 minutes to go. We're going to take a break. Our score, Bradley 57 and Tulane 43.
Here's a solid deal on a solid Datsun truck. For a limited time only, Jim Smith Datsun has reduced the price on Peoria's most popular import trucks. This deluxe 5-speed little hustler is just $66.24, $400 off the sticker price. And this King Cab diesel with 15 inches of space behind the reclining seats is just $79.74. Save $400. And with every Datsun truck you buy during this offer, you'll get this bedliner or this topper absolutely free. Save on Datsun trucks now at Jim Smith Datsun.
Sherman's Place does it again.
We've just received another truckload of microwaves direct from the Litton factory. So for a limited time, you can buy the famous Litton Meal-in-One microwave for only $299. Plus, with any Litton oven purchase, you can buy these 8 cookbooks with a retail value of over $100 for only $24.95. They'll help you become a microwave expert. Check microwave prices anywhere. Then come to Sherman's Place and we'll make you the best deal. Sherman's, Peoria.
We are back at Robertson Memorial Field House in Peoria. Second half offense, courtesy of Daryl Morrow.
Morrow has tried 10 shots from the field. He's made 7. He's only been a 49% shooter from the field, a great free throw shooter, but not that good a shooter from the field. But tonight he's been terrific. 7 of 10 from the field. He's got 10 points in the second half.
I want to tell the story about Morrow before we get away. He had 126 free throws in a row, holds the Guinness Book of World Records. Most free throws in a row for a high school player.
He holds a Tulane record of 39 in a row.
He's a 95% free throw shooter. We just haven't seen him shoot from the line tonight. Deep in the corner, Elton Webster. Was it Webster?
No,
it was Holston. Holston with his first basket of the night, and it's 57-45. Back to a 12-point lead for Bradley with 4 minutes to go in the ballgame. Third kill to Anderson, to Barney Mines. Barney Mines against the man-to-man pressure to third kill to Scott. Under 4 minutes in the ballgame. Boise winners against Big John Williams. Williams gets a steal, poked it right away. Couple of great freshmen going against each other. Williams dishes it down low. Thompson got it. Paul Thompson with a basket. He's got 15, and it's 57-47. Tulane not dying yet. They're down 10. Bradley with a basketball and 3:30 to go in the ballgame. David Thurkill looks for some help to Willie Scott. Willie Scott, the Boise winners, to Mitchell Anderson. Bradley has gotten into trouble at times playing this kind of basketball this year. Foul's going to be called on John Williams, as he played some bump and run basketball with Boise along the baseline. Here it is again. There's Boise with the ball making the move. Little hand check.
Little hand check. Maybe he was grabbing onto the trousers of the Bradley player. You know, Tulane has helped itself a little bit. They've hit the last 4 field goal attempts, 4 for 4 in the last couple of minutes, and that's enabled them at least cut the lead to 10 when Bradley was starting to take the game out of reach.
Boise Winters, a 50% free throw shooter, 0 for 1 from the line tonight. Made that one. He has 7 points. Ned Fowler talking it over on the sidelines with Daryl Morrow. Bradley coach Dick Versace in the foreground. His club leading by 11 now. In fact, I think Bradley took the lead about, what, 12 and a half minutes into the first quarter, first half, and they've never been behind since then. Boise Winters knocks them both down. He has 8. Donald Reese back in for Bradley, and Boise Winters sitting down. Bradley's lead is 12 again at 59 to 47. 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in this basketball game.
The closest Tulane's been able to get in the half is trailing by 7, and the biggest Bradley lead of the game has been 14, several times in the second half.
Holston inside of 3, misses it. Webster had the tip. Anderson saved it to Thompson, and Barney Mines fouled him. That's only the first personal foul on Barney Mines.
That really was to Tulane's disadvantage because Thompson had an open shot if he wasn't fouled right before that. He hit the basket. Of course, it was before the foul, so that was to Tulane's disadvantage unless Thompson hits both of these shots.
Ralph Davis, a 6'2 junior from Del City, Oklahoma, into the ballgame now for Tulane, and Daryl Morrow sitting down. And at the free throw line will go Paul Thompson, a 78% free throw shooter. On the night, he is 1 out of 2, 15 points. By far and away, the team's leading scorer. The free throw is good. He will get another one. 59-48, 3 minutes and a second to go in the ball game. Bradley leading by 11. Thompson will try to make it 10. Second free throw by the 6'6 junior from Alexandria, Louisiana, and he made them both. And it'll be out of bounds to Bradley. 59-49. Full court man-to-man pressure now. Tulane pulling out the stops. And there's a foul on Davis in the backcourt. It's going to be the first on Davis. Take a look at it again there, buddy. Got him, wrapped him around with the hands.
He sure did, and Davis is out of the game. Morrow back in.
And at the free throw line, Willie Scott. Scott on the night, 10 points. Hit the first 2 field goals for Bradley in the second half.
Tulane's got to get lucky, and they haven't. The other team hasn't been missing free throws. There's one they missed. That's what Tulane needs, is for them to miss a couple of one-on-ones in the front end.
Tulane down with a chance to get back to within 8 with 2:50 to go in the ballgame. Holston pulls the trigger. Webster had an uncontrolled tap, and Morrow saves out near the free throw line. Morrow to Holston. Had a notion. Morrow. Rebound battled for, and Willie Scott picks it up on the wing. Saves it to Donald Reese, to Mitchell Anderson. 2:27 for the ballgame. 59-49, Bradley by 10. Willie Scott, and a reach around on Williams. And Williams has just fouled out of the ballgame. Take a look at it again, buddy. Mitchell Anderson over to Willie Scott.
That's only his 4th, Dan. Yeah, he reached around and slapped him on the wrist.
4th foul on Williams. I had him down for 5. Ralph Davis back into the ball game for Tulane, or he will check in as soon as possible. And Willie Scott will go to the free throw line.
Moments ago, Willie Scott missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and let's see what's going to happen here. It's the only way Tulane is going to get back in, because they have to foul and have to hope Bradley misses some of the foul shots.
Willie Scott missed another one. He is the team's best free throw shooter. 75%, and he's missed 2 big ones here down the stretch.
Which could have translated into 4 points.
Wallace. Everybody high for the rebound, and they got Williams for his 5th personal foul. Take a look at it again. Boy, there were 3 Skylabs going up for that one.
Well, that's the Apparently, yeah, he pushed off. Apparently the end of a very fine freshman season for John Hot Rod Williams. Unless Tulane can pull off some type of miracle finish here. The freshman season of John Hot Rod Williams is history. He's out of the game, 5 personal fouls, only the 5th Tulane player to foul out all season. As I said, the Tulane plane is due to arrive back at Moysan at 5:10 p.m. tomorrow. The team will be bused directly to the campus for a welcome home celebration at 6 o'clock in the quad opposite McAllister Auditorium.
This team's been gone so long, I hope they remember who they are down in New Orleans. Third hits the first one. He will get another one, 60-49. Bradley now with the stranglehold on Madison Square Garden in the Final Four of the NIT. Third kill will try to go into double figures. He does. 61-49. Bradley leading it by 12 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Tulane needs some quick points, and they didn't get them. And Willie Scott with a rebound, and he's triple teamed and fouled.
The final statistics on John Hot Rod Williams for the night. He had 11 points.
Let's take a look at that foul again. And they leave it to Willie Scott, the little guy.
One statistic on Williams, he was 0 for 4 from the free throw line, and that's unlike John Williams.
Boy, that's for sure. He's a 68% free throw shooter most of the year. And Coach Ned Fowler looking on his team right now, trailing by 12, and Bradley's going to call a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. Bradley led it by 9 at the half at 31-22. And throughout the second half, the game has been played fairly evenly. Bradley's outscored them by 2 points here in the second half, 30-28.
Well, Dan, as we said at halftime, I thought the way Bradley was playing with a lot of patience and denying Tulane the inside, I felt that it would be extremely tough for Tulane to overcome that 9-point halftime lead. So far, it's played like that. Tulane's the closest they've gotten with 7 points in the second half, and actually, Bradley would have already put the game away had they not missed the front end of the 2 1-and-1s. And you said Willie Simmons the best free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's a 75% free throw shooter. And
Willie Scott's the best high percenter. That would have been 4 points, and you could have said it was all over. Right now, it's almost over, but it's not completely over. Had he hit those 4 free throws, it would have been all over.
Well, I tell you what, the fans here at Robertson Memorial Field House, and for the people down in Louisiana who aren't familiar with this place, I tell you, there is no other place in America like Robertson Memorial Field House. It was built in the late 1940s out of 2 aircraft hangars. They butted them together. They seamed them in the middle. It was built for $500,000. It was supposed to have been the home of the Bradley Braves for only a couple of years till they built the permanent place. This became the permanent place until this year, and they're going to close it out. This is the 500th game in the field house. Take a look at the steal again. Boise, this was a couple of minutes ago. And this was when Williams poked it away. Remember that? At the
Willie Scott hit it that far.
Willie Scott's had a good ball game. He averages 7.5 points a ball game. He's got 11 now. 62-49, under 2 minutes to go in the game. And Willie Scott got them both. 63-49, back to the biggest lead of the ball game. Morrow, Joe Wallace in the middle to Thompson. Thompson crashes the board, couldn't get the follow. Rebound battered out into the near wing, and Willie Scott chases it down. He was on the out-of-bounds line. Into the ball game is Clyde Eads, number 24 for Tulane. And the Bradley fans are beginning to think it's about over. A lot of them standing up.
Well, it is. I think the only thing remains now is the final score. Tulane down by 14. They have some role players in.
Clyde Eads. Now that's what you call getting the bounce. High off the back rim, and it went high and dropped back through, and Tulane's going to call a timeout. 63-51, 12-point lead, and a minute 36 to go.
Well, the way we
buddy.
see it right now, Bradley will be going to New York. They'll be one of the semifinal teams in the NIT. Another semifinal team is Georgia, would beat Virginia Tech by 17 tonight in Athens, 90-73. Dayton and Oklahoma playing in Norman tonight. Oklahoma led by 8 points late in the first half. We have no other score in that. And of course, the fourth game involves Texas A&M at Purdue tomorrow night.
I tell you, buddy, it's been great working with you tonight. If I don't have a chance before the ball game gets over to thank you, I want to thank you for coming up from New Orleans. We hope you've enjoyed your stay here in Peoria. And all your friends down at Channel 6 in New Orleans, we hope they've enjoyed the broadcast with us here this evening also.
Dan, it's been good working with you and your basketball. Your Bradley basketball team certainly deserves everything they've gotten so far tonight. They've played the better basketball. They've been more sound. They haven't committed nearly as many turnovers as Tulane. They've hit the outside shot when they've had to. They've just been a better all-around basketball team than Tulane tonight.
And lest I forget, the production crew from WMBD TV Channel 31 here in Peoria, the station that writes my paycheck every week, they're the ones who are putting this on technically. And again, thanks to the guys back in the truck and everything. You guys have done a super job again tonight.
Tulane had 6 men in the court. That'd be one way to try and catch up, but they finally got Eads out of the game.
Off the inbounds play, deflected loose and out of bounds. Bradley will get it. Tulane going to pull out all the stops with 1:35 to go in the ball game.
One thing, Tulane only put the ball up 20 times in the first half from the field. Already they've shot 35 times in this half.
Bradley breaks the pressure. Barney Mines from Mitchell Anderson. 10 points now for the junior out of Joliet. It's 65-51. Bradley by 14. Paul Thompson. Bingo. I like him. Good basketball player. Paul Thompson with 13, 14, 15, 19 points. We will keep it right here again.
Ned Fowler was playing it to the hilt. He's going to get all 6 of his timeouts in. He's not going to die easy, although I have to say he's going to die. His basketball team has had an excellent season. They were, in preseason, no one expected Tulane even have a break-even season.
That's for sure.
They were 19-8 coming in tonight. They've won 2 games, advanced to the quarterfinals of NIT. They were hoping they would go to New York, but they just run into a better basketball team tonight. But he's playing it to the hilt right now, getting those timeouts. Still hoping against hope that something can be done.
And I tell you, we talked yesterday with Ned Fowler here in Peoria, and when I asked him what kind of season he thought Tulane was going to have this year, he said 8-19, and so he'll take what he got this year. So congratulations to the Tulane Green Wave. They come in here and played a great ball game. Well, I hate to say great. It's the most overworked adjective in sports broadcasting. But they played a pretty good ball game here at Robertson Memorial Field House. Granted, not an easy place to play, but let's give credit to Bradley. They have played a consistent basketball game and have played their kind of game here at home as they're going to finish out the season here at Robertson anyway at 24-10.
Fowler said before the game the difference between Bradley, LSU, and Nevada, Las Vegas is Bradley plays a lot smarter, and I think they have tonight.
Daryl Morrow coming back into the ball game for Tulane. Clyde Eads also coming back in. All 5 Bradley players who started the game, Scott Mines, Reese Thurkill, and Anderson, all in double figures now.
That's the kind of balance that relates into a 14-point lead or a 12-point lead with 1:15 to go.
From the corner, Tony Wallace gets the basket and 6 points, and Tulane's going to take their last time out. Or do they have one more left? 65-55, a 10-point lead with 1:13 to go. And we're running up on the 10 o'clock hour here. We'll run down as much of this as we can. But the winner of this ball game, and it looks like it's going to be the Bradley Braves, on to New York City, where they will join, for sure, Georgia, who defeated Virginia Tech earlier tonight, 90-73. They will also join either Oklahoma or Dayton and Purdue, and I don't remember who Purdue plays tonight.
Texas A&M, that's tomorrow night.
Texas A&M tomorrow night, that's right.
You know, one thing you can say, what Tulane has done in the last minute is it's been able to retain a certain amount of poise. They will threaten to get blown out by maybe 18 or 20. They've kept their poise a little bit. He's used all of his timeouts, I think, except one. He's cut it to 10. And now it's not going to translate into a victory, but it certainly translates into a well-disciplined ball club.
It'll be out of bounds to Bradley. The Braves on the floor with their starting lineup. And you got to give Bradley credit, too. They've had some players who have played with 4 fouls most of the second half and have managed to keep their nose clean and stay in the ball game. Mitchell Anderson's fouled off the inbounds.
Micah Blunt reaching in.
And on Blunt, that is his second personal foul.
Of course, again, what Tulane's trying to do now, they're gambling on missing the free throws.
And they bring in their scooter squad every other trip down. Here's the play again off the inbounds. Blunt going for the steal. About a half a step too short. And at the free throw line will go Mitchell Anderson on the night, 2 out of 2. He's got 10 points. Mitchell, the team's second best free throw shooter at 73% from the free throw line. And he will have the 1 in bonus with 1:12 to go in the game. 66-55. Bradley by 11. And this full house of 7,300 patiently waiting for the end of the ball game. Anderson will get another toss. All-American from Chicago got the other one. And it's 67-55. Bradley again by a dozen. They've kept Tulane out of arm's reach the entire second half.
7 points is as close as Tulane could have gotten in the second half.
Clyde Eads with his second field goal of the ball game.
That's the last time out for Tulane. Ned Fowler's used them all.
And now he's going to have to hope against hope. 10-point game at 67-57. Bradley will have the basketball out of bounds and try to run out the final few seconds of this basketball game. Bradley, it looks like, is going to advance to the NCAA, or to the, see, when you're in Peoria, you fought NCAA so long this year that when they forgot about it.
Well, from what I've seen in the Bradley basketball team tonight, they certainly look like a team that should have been in the NCAA tournament.
Well, they're a good basketball team. Bradley will go to 24-10. They will go to New York for the NIT Quarterfinals, the Final Four there. Tulane will finish the year with a record of 19-9, and their first trip to a postseason tournament. The trail comes to a halt in Peoria, Illinois, and their season will be over, but they've got the nucleus of a good ball club coming back next year.
They have everybody back except Joe Holston. Of course, they got a recruiting season ahead of them, so they should have a good, solid basketball team next year, as long as Ned Fowler sticks around. Excellent coach.
Donald Reese will trigger it in for the final 103 to Mitchell Anderson. Anderson in the backcourt, has it stripped, and he's fouled. And the foul is going to be called on Ralph Davis, and that is his second. And back in, Ned Fowler changes lines again as Daryl Morrow checks back into the ball game along with Clyde Eads and Ralph Davis.
I like the way Fowler's playing, and he is playing it down to the hilt, even though it's looks like an insurmountable lead. He's playing it to the hilt.
Here it is in the backcourt. Davis going for the ball, got a pound of flesh and $1 worth of change, and Anderson goes to the free throw line for the 1 in bonus.
Seems like they're fouling the wrong man there.
Free throw by Mitchell is good. He will get another one. Mitchell Anderson, who suffered through about 2 months of play with a very severe back spasm problem that he suffered against West Texas State back in January, and he's played hurt most of the second half of the season, has come through like a trooper. It's his 6th straight free throw. He's got 14 on the night now. Clyde Eads again. And Willie Scott comes down with the loose ball rebound, leads to Barney Mines for the layup, and he's fouled, and the foul's going to be on Thompson. And that's his 4th, and we're down to 50 seconds to go in the ball game now. Barney Mines will go to the free throw line. Barney with 8 points in the second half, 10 in the ball game. And Barney will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. There's the foul on Thompson. He's going to make Barney work for his 2 points.
This will be Tulane's second worst defeat of the year. They lost by 18 in Indiana.
Ned Fowler looking on from the raised floor. The people may not get a good feel of that back home in New Orleans or wherever you may be if you've never been here, but the floor is raised about 3 feet, and the crowd comes right down to it all the way around. Barney Mines made them both. Barney with 12 now, and it's 71-57. Bradley's lead is 14. We're down to 48 seconds for the ball game. Bradley still in that 2-3 zone. Clyde Eads, double team. Backdoor play, deflected, picked up nicely by Wallace. And Tony Wallace has 8 points in the ball game. 71-59 with 32 seconds in the ball game, and a foul on Daryl Morrow out front. That's going to be Morrow's second personal foul, and Willie Scott will go to the free throw line. Take a look at it again.
Oh, just reaching in and slapping him on the waist.
A slap check, as they would call it on the hockey rinks.
This is one of the big differences in this game than the LSU game and the Nevada Las Vegas game. Bradley has hit 10 of 10 from the free throw line in the last 10 attempts.
Not a bad effort. You're not going to improve on that. Boise Winters into the ball game for Bradley. And I think now it's senior cheer time. Donald Reese is going to check out. Donald will finish the ball game with 15 points, and he had 11 in the first half, and it was Donald Reese that really was the story in the first half, buddy. He got Bradley off to that 9-point lead. Sort of hid in the second half. Willie Scott rolls home his first free throw.
That's 11 for 11. Ever since Willie Scott missed the front end of the 1-and-1 twice, they've been 11 for 11.
Gary Cook in, and David Thurkill going to sit down, and Thurkill going to finish the night with 10 points. Second toss by Willie Scott is also good, and it's 73-59, 31 seconds to go, clock running. Morrow, lob to the goal. They went for the alley-oop to Thompson, and he missed it. He gets the loose ball, and a foul going to be called on who? Did they get Blunt for it? They did. On Blunt, that is his third. Let's look at it again. Here's Morrow now. Here's the alley-oop try. And the roar you hear in the background, Eddie Harris replaces Willie Scott. Eddie Matthews replaces Barney Mines as Bradley coach Dick Versace now cleans house. And the only one left to come out is All-American Mitchell Anderson, who will come out, I'm sure, right after the free throw. Anthony Webster is the only man who hasn't checked in, and he'll be coming in. Mitchell on the night with 14 points. 6 out of 6 from the line. 7 out of 7 from the line. 45 points out of the senior front line of Reese, Thurkill, and Anderson. Not a bad, balanced attack. Everybody on their feet here at Robertson Memorial Field House. Anderson, second free throw. He made them both. And now he will come out to a standing ovation as Anthony Webster comes on. Bradley leads it by 16 points, and they're on their way to Madison Square Garden.
They have hit 14 of 14 free throws, the last 14 attempts, and that, of course, has prevented Tulane from coming back.
Shot no good. Bradley goes for the rebound. It's going to be out of bounds to Tulane. 19 seconds for the ball game. Tulane will trigger it off the inbounds play. 75-59. Inbounds play. Clyde Eads got another one down from deep in the corner, and he gets his 6th point. 75-61. Kerry Cook to Eddie Matthews. 10 seconds to go. 9 seconds and a foul going to be called on Thompson. And Thompson has just fouled out of the ball game. And Bradley's 3 seniors stand up in front of their bench to their crowd for the final time. And they're on their way to Madison Square Garden. Quite a way for them to finish their homestanding career. And Eddie Matthews will go to the free throw line for Bradley. Matthews is a 63% free throw shooter at the line for a pair. And he made it. I tell you, buddy, Bradley has not been this good a free throw shooting team all year long, and when the money's on the table, Bradley has to go to work on their free throws. Matthews will get another one. He made them both.
16 of 16 down the stretch.
7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Boise Winters with 2 seconds. With 1, we will not have Boise Winters stepped on the end line, and it'll be out of bounds to Tulane. They will control with 2 seconds to go in the basketball game, and the Bradley fans standing up around the arena. And we'll just let the picture tell the story here. Morrow, it's all over, and the Bradley Braves are on their way to the NIT semifinals as they defeat Tulane 77-61. We'll be back with a recap of some final stats right after this.
The sun fades away and